This FTX story just keeps getting crazier. First, we had them come out and officially declare bankruptcy, saying that they're going under. And now we have them getting hacked for hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. And this is all client money, people's money, everyday people who just had their money in FTX that originally that was stuck in there and they were hoping to get something back. And now it looks like they might not have anything back. It might just be all been drained and all the money got taken away. But if you feel bad about yourself, if you were in FTX and got your money locked away or maybe stolen and think, it's just a crazy thing and feeling down on yourself, just know that even the most sophisticated, intelligent, supposed to be the best investors in the world, they fell for the exact same thing.
And I have to disclose, I'm a paid spokesperson to FTX and a shareholder there too, because we mentioned them, and big advocate for Sam because he has two parents that are compliance lawyers. If there's ever a place I could be that I'm not going to get in trouble, it's going to be at FTX. It's going to be at FTX. It's going to be at FTX.
So even people like Kevin O'Leary, who's supposed to be a shark, he's a shark on Shark Tank, the best of the best investor, got duped, fell into his trap, fell into the Ponzi scheme, believed all of it, looked at Sam and thought, wow, this guy is just so smart, and invested not only in his company and invested money into FTX equity, they put their money and crypto on the FTX platform. So they lost everything. They've lost just as much as anybody else. They've lost their stuff, and obviously they weren't sophisticated enough to not let this happen to themselves. But this hack started with people noticing that money was moving outside of FTX. You see hundreds of millions of dollars are now flooding out of FTX wallets. Some speculate liquidators, but it's late on a Friday night, not typical times for such rapid heavy movement. So that's when alarm bells started going off for people, and they started saying something doesn't seem quite right on here with this money that is just evaporating out of these wallets. And people on FTX even refreshed their thing. If you had the FTX app and stuff, they refreshed their wallets looking at their balance and watched it just go from whatever it said to zero. So this was absolutely kind of a crazy thing to go through. But this is one of the wallets that someone tracked all these funds, and it brought it to $326 million in this wallet. A lot of it from ETH, DAI, BNB, PAX G, DAI on BNB, and you see just a bunch of different stable coins, vast majority in ETH and DAI and BNB. So this wallet took these funds from FTX and now it's sitting in here. I'm sure people will try and track it down, but if the hacker is knowing what they're doing, they're going to try and, use things like Tornado Cash or things to try and make it so that they can get away with the money. But there could be problems with liquidity doing that. So who knows what this is really going to do. And it actually gets worse from there because that started with that one wallet. And then it came out saying the FTX officials and FTX US wallets appear to be hacked with over $600 million leaving the exchange. So we went from that $320 million in that wallet to now there's $600 million missing, to further going down the line and finding out that it's actually somewhere near $1 billion that have vanished. So people are still trying to calculate the funds that went missing, trying to see where everything's going, if they can track down the money and how much of it's actually gone. But this story keeps getting crazier and crazier. And to have $1 billion of customer assets, these are people's money, be vanished and hacked away is crazy. And then with all this happening, you had FTX's official Telegram come out saying FTX has been hacked. All funds seem to be gone. FTX apps are malware. Delete them. Chat is open. Don't go on the FTX site as it might download Trojans. So there was a lot of rumors either flying about this hack and malware being put out, and who really knows, what exactly the truth is. Some people are saying this is cover for people in FTX who stole the money to say that they got hacked and get away with the money. And, obviously everyone's trying to come to their own conclusions because no one knows what's going on. But in this case, if you do have the FTX app, probably just delete it and get rid of it. Don't even take the risk. It's probably a low risk, but people thought there was a low risk of FTX collapsing, and that ended up happening. So even if it's a low risk, it's not worth the risk. And one of the biggest kind of thoughts on what might be going on with FTX is this right here, saying, like, his best interpretation is that FTX counsel noticed the black hat thieves getting dumped to ETH and DAI on chain, then took white hat actions to save the remainder of the funds. estimates from Zach XBT have been Black Hat Thief at about 450 million and White Hat Rescue at 200 million. So that's where you get a bunch of these different numbers. Is what is thought to have happened is that FTX got hacked, the money started draining, and then they took the money that wasn't gone yet on the platform and moved it to a different place to try and safeguard it and try and make sure the funds were safe. And that is where a bunch of money is moving. So you have a hacker who could have stolen about $450 million worth of tokens and coins, and FTX trying to save $200 million worth of stuff, which is, I mean, that's pennies for people to try and get back if they ever get any money back. But now you have that 650 million. That's where the first number came from. And now people are estimating that it could be up to $1 billion. So it's just crazy to see all of this playing out, all this money flowing around, and all of it happening in public view for people to talk about on Twitter and have spaces and follow it live as it's happening. And one big thing that happened while people were live and talking about this is people started trying to track a private plane that they thought might have been SBF's. And you can see this right here. The most tracked flight right now is one of the founder of the former CEO of FTX. Flight is en route to Argentina after the FTX collapse and the reports of the hack. So you can see kind of this map took off from the Bahamas where FTX is incorporated and flying down to South America near Argentina. If FTX Sam Bankman-Fried is actually on that flight, who knows? Maybe FTX, inner circle type people, bigger, more execs are on that flight. Maybe it's just completely nothing and people are tracking a random plane. You really can't tell right now. And that could be the case, as we have Reuters right here saying FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried says he is in the Bahamas. So apparently he's in the Bahamas. Apparently he's not on this plane that everyone's speculating, but who really knows? The same thing happened with Do Kwon, and he was trying to run away from his Luna scam stuff. But the difference here with SBF is that Do Kwon was dealing with South Korean government, and they don't have much extraditive power and ability to go and get people, whereas Sam is dealing with the United States government, and they have lots of power to go and get people. And apparently Sam was kind of in bed with the regulators, and his parents had big political ties. We know he was the second biggest Democratic donor for this last cycle, so he had huge political ties. Right now makes the government look kind of dumb that they were all working with him and believing him, and he was running a Ponzi scheme that lost billions and billions of dollars of Americans' money. It's not a great look, and they probably aren't going to be too happy if he is on the run and try and track him down. So not sure how this all is going to end. If SBF is actually on the run, if he gets caught, what happens? If he's end up stealing this money and it's not a hacker, it's all up in the air. It's all up for discussion, and things are getting crazier and crazier every single hour, it seems, right now. But we'll see how it all plays out. And it's going to make a really great Netflix film whenever that comes out. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And see you guys in my next